Pull out your dicks, get ready to fap. It's time for your favorite show, The Grease Trap. Pull out your dicks, get ready to fap. It's time for your favorite show, Grease Trap.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the greasiest trap in the fucking universe. Oh, yeah.
Greasy.
I'm scouring news articles and stuff to see if there's anything worth talking about on a grease trap. Because, you know...
there's definitely something worth talking about. TJ.
Oh, yeah, what is that? You tell me, Paul.
You all right, TJ?
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Yeah.
Did you see my brilliant
What you do now?
167 IQ
Oh, fuck.
fucking mic drop?
Yeah, where'd
on
you do that?
AOC on Twitter?
Oh,
yeah, I did.
What?
That's
What'd you
true.
say?
Yeah, do it again, Paul. Lay the smack down.
I called her Alexandria Statucio Quotez.
I like her Twitter, man. I like her Twitter. I mean,
That's not
you
the
know,
only
maybe
thing I like.
maybe one day I'll be able to be like, hey, well, she's also done, but I don't have that yet. So until then, all I could do is go like,
Her Twitter's good.
she got a good Twitter, man.
She good on the
It's
Twitter?
a real good. It's a fine Twitter. It's a
You like
fine
that
little
shit she
Twitter.
posted on her Twitter where she talked about it's a carceral crisis, where she just did the fucking tap dance of let's pretend Biden's cages are functionally different than Trump's were.
Yeah.
We're not dealing with a border crisis here, okay? We're dealing with an imperialism crisis.
Let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Next to Biden's name, there is a letter. Okay, there's a couple parentheses, and in those parentheses, there's a letter. Paul, is that letter a D or is that letter an R?
It's a D.
Case closed.
It's different.
Case fucking closed, Paul. I don't know what to tell
Look
you.
at that
And
cage.
corrected.
It sounded like you had a point there for a second, but then
They painted smiley faces and rainbows on those bars, Paul.
Yeah.
So you just shut your fucking communist mouth.
I stand corrected.
dude, John Oliver was calling fucking Biden out just was it on his last show? He was just like, there's basically one of the campaign promises Biden had was he went around and he said, hey, I'm going to, Trump did all this stuff to migrants, legal migrants, right?
I'm gonna
Like
change
refugees. It's like he put this cap on it, 15,000, and put all this anti-Muslim shit in there.
Yes.
And all Joe Biden has to do to reverse that is literally just there's a piece of paper he's got to fucking sign. That's all he has to do. Mitch McConnell can't stand in his way. Joe Manchin can't stand in his way. All he's got to do is sign that piece of paper.
We were talking about the 15,000 cap that
Right.
was instituted on the Trump.
He said he was going to raise that up to 67,000. Get rid of all the anti-Muslim
I think
shit.
he actually said 125,000.
Whatever. I mean, he said a much higher number. But all he has to do is sign a piece of paper. And it's literally how many months into his fucking, 3 months in now?
Well, you know why he hasn't done it.
I didn't even hear, I haven't heard any.
Well, now he's back. Now he's doing the political back. But because progressives were like, oh, you promised Biden. And she's like, oh, let me try to balance all these interests because Biden's a centrist ultimately.
Right.
He wants to fall somewhere in the middle, but he knows he's weak on the Republicans as far as this line of attack. If they can make the border look super unstable, and it's like Trump had the border on lockdown, Biden doesn't. They just know that's something they can play politically to a lot of people, a lot of conservative white people, or centrist white people, like Biden's doing nothing to stop the tide.
Right.
The tide of evil that waits at the border. The monsters on the other side.
Right.
So
but
he knows.
The border is a separate issue from, obviously Republicans can tie refugee numbers to the border because that's what they're good at. But he should just fucking do it.
Can I put to you a point?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
That I made on Ideology actually this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's salient that I want to see what your response is.
Okay.
So one of the ways that Joe Biden was sold as a candidate was the harm reduction vote, right? He's a piece of shit, but he's going to be slightly less of a piece of shit.
I would say that was
the lesser of two evils.
That what I would say would be the central argument for voting for Biden.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's take a look. So Biden, a couple of stats. I don't have the hard numbers, but I know that Biden has deported more people in the first 86 days of his presidency than Trump did.
Yeah.
In the first 86 days of
We got an unprecedented number of people trying to cross right now too, though.
Right, but I mean, like, he promised to stop deportations. That was one of his major campaign promises to an entire community of people who ostensibly turned out to vote for him.
Right. Yeah, 100%.
And these are the very people whom harm reductionists were saying that we were voting for Joe Biden to protect.
Right.
The most vulnerable amongst us, the people on the lowest end of the socioeconomic scale, immigrants,
migrants,
etc. So Biden
seekers,
has continued and expanded Trump's ICE policies. He promised to abolish ICE, or not. I guess he didn't promise to abolish.
He never said he was going to abolish ICE.
He said he was going to issue new directives. He did. And then, like, I think it was a month into his presidency, he basically issued new directives that rescinded and kind of went back to Trump era shit.
What were you going to say, Scotty?
Well, think about our political system. The Republicans have these big think tanks, but it's all about dysfunctional government. Like, the Republicans just want the government to be as dysfunctional and almost essentially be seen doing as little constructive as possible. The Democrats want the government to be productive in what it's doing. So they have all these corporate centrist policies that they want to be carried out, and they're much better at carrying them out than the Republican Party is when they're in power. I mean, look at the drone strikes. Obama's way more efficient at doing that. So the Democrats do like the big government in that sense. Like they like. I mean, Biden has done well with the vaccines as compared to Trump, but it's also all the negative things. The immigration policies have not fundamentally changed, and the framework we're looking at.
Like, when it comes to the vaccines and shit, it's also on the back of what Trump did to work with all of these different and help all these different companies as they developed the vaccine and shit.
Oh yeah, so that's one of the few credits.
Most of the vaccines that are being distributed were stockpiled during the Trump administration.
He wasn't pushing it out to people though.
But he didn't have a logistical framework in place to actually distribute them.
And I mean, honestly, a counter to that too would be like the logistical framework for the distribution of these is more on the individual states than it is on anything that Joe Biden did. He just freed up he worked on the logistical framework of getting these vaccines distributed to each state.
Well, Joe Biden probably had nothing to do with the actual plan.
No, well,
it's a matter of just who he assigned.
But who is getting?
Roles.
But Joe Biden is getting credit by the public for that.
Well, look, when I say Joe Biden or Donald Trump, we're talking really more administrations than human beings.
Of course. I mean, of course. Only one human being can only do so much, anyways. You know, I mean, feasibly.
My point was, you look at those people, immigrants, migrant workers, people that are on the lowest end of the socioeconomic spectrum, people that fucking refugees, right?
Yes, sure, yeah.
Biden has been functionally, now I know that he walked back his continuation of Trump's 15,000 refugee policy or whatever.
And he rescinded the Muslim ban. He's done that.
Well, yeah, and he gave no specifics.
Right.
He just said, "Oh yeah, we'll let more in."
He's a politician. You know, politicians are not good about details. They're good about being as ambiguous as possible. No, I agree with you. You're basically saying, like, if the harm, you're just trying to follow it logically. If we're doing this for harm reduction, but the policies remain the same, then what harm have we actually reduced?
Right. And then you look outside of America. What policies have been put into place from the switch from Donald Trump to Joe Biden's administration and the Democratic takeover of the legislature? How have people in Mumbai's lives changed in American-run factories? How have people in Africa's lives changed in American-run mining towns and shit over there?
Not at all.
How have people in South America's life changed where they work in clothes factories or shoe factories or mass farming operations run by American companies?
No,
I wouldn't say there's any noticeable change that I've
zero.
There's not going to be any change for those people.
Functionally been reduced amongst the most vulnerable people.
That's not going to be reduced.
Those checks are going to go right out. No student debt cancellation. All of this shit we've just ceded. You promised to cancel your debt, Jack. Nope. You promised to fucking be serious about the environment, has continued fracking, has signed a bunch of new pipeline deals that are illegal, and signed a bunch of fucking weapons deals
Yep.
And
What's different?
And it's kept most Trump policies in place.
Well, the legal framework surrounding it's not changed.
Where's the harm reduction, Jack?
Trans people can be in the military now, Paul.
Yeah. Paul, look.
So they can go jump in front of bullets.
Yeah, so they can go murder brown people and die for our country, too.
Here's the meter. You have right and you have left, okay? So this is the middle. Is for Joe Biden. Okay, ready to look? All right.
Oh, there it is. I saw it.
You saw it move? You saw it move?
You saw the twitch.
Just barely, though.
You saw it move. Did it move?
Yeah.
Did it move to the left or the right? A little bit to. Let's see what. Okay, a little to the
lot
left.
A lot of people are bored with this argument, but I think it's a super salient argument to be making right now.
Well, I mean, look, I mean,
let's look at the result.
Well, wait a minute. Is how complacency happens.
Well, look, the argument was wait. Well, hold on.
Cycle.
If people are not interested in what's going on now, because like there was an argument that happened, with Joe Biden harm reduction. So like.
And they said, let's see.
You, as the person who made the argument that he's not going to reduce harm, obviously it's in your best interest to like take a look at how he's doing on that front on a regular basis. Yes, now, I think it might be a little early to just say like harm was not reduced. But as of right now,
isn't it also in the best interest of the people who made that argument that he was going to reduce harm to check on how he's doing on that?
Oh yeah. Well, but they're not going to on their own.
What they're going to say though is he succeeded. He's done that.
Well, the problem is, like, if you're going to assess this issue, like, you're going to have to look at so many different political issues, issue by issue, and be like, is he better on this? Is he worse on this? Is he the same on this? And you might find issues where it's like Biden actually is doing more harm here. And you might find issues where, okay, here maybe he's doing less harm. And, you know, you're going to have to fucking do a gigantic, complicated assessment of all that stuff to really fucking come to an answer to that question.
Take the main pressing issues.
But as of right now, I'm not being blown away by the harm reduction I'm seeing as
I don't
of
think
this
it has
moment.
To be as complicated as all that. I just honestly think you have to take the temperature of the most fucking vulnerable people in this country and the most vulnerable people who are under the umbrella of American subsidiary companies around the world.
Yeah.
And see how they're doing. And if the answer is just as poorly as under Trump, there was no harm reduction. Period.
But you know the spin's going to be otherwise. You know, and that's the thing, because like you're talking about the actual results, whereas like if you look at the media and you look at people that toe these lines, they're always going to find some way to spin it. Oh, well, Biden's pushing more community college. Well, Biden's trying to do that, but if he does that, the Democrats are going to lose in the midterms. Oh, there's always a mitigating reason why. If you look at politics, there's a reason to compromise. That's essentially the nature of politics. Right. We're supposed to have two sides come together and compromise, or multiple sides.
I mean, there's some good stuff in that infrastructure package. It's pretty fucking falls short. But like,
that's because corporate America realizes that they have to do something on this front. But like the Republican counterpoint to that is let's just make it roads and bridges and like obvious infrastructure.
Right.
You know, like they just you know, and obviously I agree with like Bernie. He's like, what about the fucking human infrastructure? What about the people? Like, there's $400 billion in that bill to help people that need more advanced care as they get older. You know, elderly people. There's a huge dearth of that in this country, and that bill actually does something. Like, I don't think it even does enough, because you know we need a whole systemic change.
Well, I mean, the bill is fucking woefully inadequate for the long-term needs of this fucking country's I mean, we're a fucking giant country with a fucking D- infrastructure. So to think you can fix that with, you know, what is it? I hear different numbers on that bill.
It's because, you know, well, these numbers all get floated out there because they want basically to hear the
$2 trillion, $3 trillion,
oh,
this trillion.
You know. But right now, we're not going anywhere with it because we have Joe Manchin, that fucking basically just Republican by any other fucking name, who is now holding up legislation. And which we all knew was going to happen. If the Democrats get a majority, then there's going to be then it's just the most conservative members of the Democratic Party.
If the Democrats were super serious about actually like doing something with that, like, wouldn't Joe Manchin just be like, Joe Manchin found dead of heart attack in his home or some shit? You know what I mean?
No, they can get him to toe the line if that's what people really want, of course. But that's what you don't have to realize. Then it always moves to somebody else. Like when the Republicans didn't want to repeal Obamacare, who'd they get to fucking save it? Who saved it? Do you guys remember?
Wasn't it? It was the Supreme Court guy.
No, it was John McCain who went up and said,
"Oh yeah, that's right,"
and went because he knew he was fucking dying, and they all knew that shit. He went, no, because what heat is he gonna fucking take? They know he's like, I've got terminal illness.
Yeah, so they trotted him out.
They trotted his old ass out to be like, fuck you. And it also was a big fuck you to Trump. It's like, you're not repealing this because, honestly, corporate America loves this bill. They might say otherwise, but they love it. It's a fucking gift to them. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah, but they have to act like they don't like it.
Oh, we hate it. Oh, it's horrible.
because communism is happening.
Of course.
Because it's a half measure step in the general direction of that. So they have to act like they hate it, even though it's
basically
still just
like
exploitative, forced, like
yeah, but like anything that to them
capitalism.
feels like it even takes like the slightest sort of like baby step towards like post-capitalism, they're like, nope, no.
Well, they haven't figured out how to monetize post-capitalism yet. As soon as they can figure that out, they'll be right there, Johnny, on the spot to go, hey, we're here.
It's communism brought to you by Pepsi.
Like, that's all it really is. If you're really thinking about the corporate dystopian future, it's like they just haven't figured out a way that they can make it work for them yet.
As soon as we can monetize communism, y'all can have it.
Pretty much.
Right.
As soon as they can do that, they're
Dude.
good.
I have another hot take for you guys
Hottest
to work
take.
your way through.
Okay.
You ready?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nail
Here's
it.
another Paul hot take.
Throw it.
One of the biggest criticisms that I see of me is like, I hate that Paul just bitches about everything, but he got no plan. Even though I feel like that isn't true.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Let's say that it is true. Let me make my hot take.
Okay.
There's no solution.
Yeah.
What is happening is out of control, out of the control of any small movement of people online or any political movement.
Yeah.
It involves multiple collapses that are out of the reach of the average person, whether they organize or not. And there's no solution.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking about this just yesterday, logistically in terms of like the general strike, which I support a general strike, but
I do too.
just looking at it, I'm like, when you have 8 people that have more wealth than like the bottom 50% of people, like, how do you fucking starve that out? You know what I mean? Like, you can't starve that beast. You know what I mean? Like, they have like, hey, with our half of all wealth in this country or whatever the fucking statistic is, we have to feed our 8 fucking mouths. How many do you have to feed with your half? You know? It's like, oh, fuck. Logistically, this is not a good fucking
People
place to
hate
be.
this, by the way. If I were you, I would not take this position that we're talking about semi-publicly because people hate it. They want to call you a defeatist and an intellectual coward.
Well, hold on.
Let
me just say this fucking straight out, in case it's not been obvious to people. While I do advocate trying to fix things and doing our best, because what else can we do?
Of course.
I agree with Paul. There is no solution. And I came to that conclusion a long time ago. Fucking time ago. I looked at this game and I said, nope. This is like your opponent has all their pieces and you're just the king on the other side of the board. It's like, uh-oh.
The game is that the game can't
it
end.
was like, I won't claim that it was a long time ago that I came to this revelation, but it's definitely not new.
I grew up with George Carlin, okay? George Carlin instilled this shit in me as a kid. He's like, You can't fix this. This is fucked. This is fucked. You are fucked.
I grew up with George. I grew up with fucking Bill Hicks saying the same shit.
Yeah.
I grew up with Louis Armstrong. Not Louis Armstrong, Louis Anderson.
Louis Armstrong. And I think he's saying the opposite, you know? He's an advocate for the other position.
What a wonderful world.
Until you use it ironically in like a documentary or something.
I just kind of grew up steeped in that type of thought. And a lot of people think it's a dead end street. I don't think it is at all. Like that's the biggest argument. And I think it's a hyper emotional argument that people have against the idea that I think is very true. There is no solution to this. I hate to say it, but we're doomed, right? All of us are doomed, each to our own personal degradation and rotting and eventual passing away.
Oh, yeah.
But we as a civilization, as a society, as we exist now, it's doomed, right?
Yeah.
The end of the world as we know it is upon us. It's just slower than it happens in the movies, but that's what that song was about, right? It's the end of the world as we know it, but I feel fine.
Yeah. I mean, look, the thing is too, like, I mean, when I look at history and like how it played out, like it's not one big doom. It's just like a series of you're doomed, you're doomed, you're doomed. Every civilization that thinks it's great falls, you know. Right. Everything that was every accomplishment eventually fucking is tainted and falls into ruin and all this shit. So like, I don't know. This is no different. We see that ecologically our planet is fucked. We're undergoing another mass extinction event, which has happened before. It's going to happen again. How do we fucking even get through that?
We had such
massive shift in climate.
Yeah, and what has killed species more than that? I mean, if you look at it, it's like we've had such a fucking wonderful humanity's had such a wonderful run because we've had a relatively stable climate, and now we're
What has killed the most species? The Ice Age.
It's true though. I mean, like when you have these inhospitable climates emerge, then suddenly it's like, oh, it's too hot to live here. What's going to happen to a lot of people? They're going to die.
I've talked about this a bunch on Ideology, but the equatorial belt of the world at the current rate of climate change is going to be uninhabitable for human beings due to the combination of heat and humidity. So there actually is a dew point that is unlivable for human beings. Like if you're out in it, your body can't stop losing water. You're taking on too much water into your lungs, and you just can't live.
Well, look at this. I mean, the Middle East is going to empty out. A lot of parts of Africa are going to empty out.
All of Central and South America, or most of like Northern South America and Central America, are going to empty of people. Southern Mexico. So this belt, it's not just the equator.
Yeah.
The equatorial belt. So the center part of the planet, which houses something like, I don't know what the number is, but it's billions of people.
Billions of people, yeah.
And represents trillions of dollars of industry, is going to suddenly, within 50 years, is going to be uninhabitable for people.
Yep.
Those people are going to flee. Where are they going to come? To a place like America, who's woefully unresponsive and woefully shitty migration policy has us have children in camps at the border already. Think about 4 billion people coming here and everywhere else too that isn't on that belt. Europe thinks they've got a problem with migrants from North Africa and India and Asia now. You better fucking wait, bro.
Dude, the refugee crises of the future are going to be fucking insane.
Syria was like a preview. Because Syria,
and that's not even counting. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Scotty. I want to get to your point too, but that's not even counting what we call climate refugees within countries. People fleeing the coasts.
Yeah, that's
people
true.
Fleeing the desert, the like hotter, drier areas because they become too hot and too dry. Where are these people going to go? So there's going to be a migration crisis within countries.
Oh yeah,
the coastal areas become uninhabitable and inundated, and people flee inland. And then there's going to be this mass migration of people from the whole center band of the planet, mostly north, to escape the oppressive heat and unworkable and unlivable conditions. What are we going to do?
Have you met my friend authoritarianism? That is clearly the path we're going to go down. A lot of these nations that are just in better positions, it's going to be so quick because, like, you're already starting to hear rumblings about that now. And people in this country, and this is just the precursor to it, is like, we need to start putting guns on the border. When you're talking about the amount of people you're talking about, Paul, I guarantee you it's going to be camps. It's going to be people just getting killed. It's going to be like, okay, we're just going to bomb these people. We're going to kill these people. They even try to come to our country. Because the only way they're going to stop them is if you
they're going to have like some kind of fucking like demilitarized zone
they'll
along the border and shit.
I guarantee you that that's
anybody who enters into this zone is killed.
And the public will love it because if they know it's me or them, they're going to fucking say fuck those people in a heartbeat. You watch the humanitarians in most of these societies that are just in a slightly better position, not even a great position.
These civilized people, they'll eat each other.
Killing mass amounts of people is never a good look.
I know.
What if it's worse than that? What if it's just like,
well, that's part of it.
What if it's just total fucking the creation of a total underclass of people?
But
you are taken directly to the migrant zone. You will get your work permit and your work assignment in the migrant zone.
Those people too are going to be totally exploited. Yo, you're right. That's the other dark side of it. Is the people they do have. It's like you're going to be living in these very controlled conditions in these camps in total squalor, where it's like just live there. We don't care. You don't have a house or nothing. Just find your way in this society, and then go to your work zone and do this factory work and do the grunt work and clean up the fucking pollution. Oh, we're putting these migrants to work, clean up pollution. Isn't that great? Oh, your lifespan's 3 years.
Politically, philosophically,
Philosophy. I like philosophy.
Philosophy.
This is where my brain is
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
Because to me, this is like, it's not a crystal ball, but it's just inevitable. We're watching it happen now.
I mean,
Well, look at
slow
Syria.
motion.
Well, the thing is,
look what happened in Syria. The conditions there got so poor, and a lot of it's due to the environment. It's so arid there.
Right.
It's like they're a fucking preview. They're the fucking lens of like, now imagine this is in every country. What if it's 25% of countries are like this now?
Right.
What the fuck is going to look at India? There's parts of India, the most populous country in the world, or soon to be, are going to be uninhabitable. Where are those people going to go? They're just going to go, I'm dead. That's not going to fucking happen. We're going to have massive amounts of migration. And the countries, and like there's no country on the earth that's going to be able to absorb that.
well, not only that, but as that's happening, water shortages are happening.
Food shortages are happening.
Food shortages are happening. Ocean toxicity is fucking going out of control. So there's no fucking fish. Or the fishing industry is basically
Disease
fucked.
is going to go up because more
Yeah.
people from different places.
There's going to be like a new COVID-19 every week and shit. I mean, it's going to be fucking horrible. Like, basically, like 100 years from now, if you come to this planet, you're just going to fucking see the most fucked up shit.
But here's the thing, Tito, we don't know because there's going to be zones, I guarantee you, they're going to be like paradise. There's going to be some zones.
That's why when I hear shit from Alex Jones, like the NWO is going to do a mass depopulation or something, I'm like, well, I mean, if I was the NWO, I mean, that's probably what I'd be thinking.
Yeah.
I
Why
mean-
wouldn't they? You think these 8 fucks are sitting in that room and they're going, how can we help people? They're thinking of like, good, now that I'm on top, how do I get rid of the rest of these like fucking plebs? How do we fucking eliminate them? They're not useful.
How
to
many
us.
humans do we actually need at this
Yeah,
point?
what's our human quotient? 1 billion could run the planet swimmingly? Oh, I see.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
They killed Paul. They got him.
Paul's dead.
They got Paul. No.
Damn, Paul starts talking about this shit and he's gone.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Paul's like, yeah, here's what I think's going to happen.
that is kind of freaky.
Paul is gone.
Oh, dude, you gotta love how this technology does listen to you, though.
Yeah.
I recently I was talking about something. I was like, I want pizza or something. And then like Siri's like, I got like an update. It's like, want pizza? And I was like, I forget what the fuck it was, but I was like, what the fuck, dude? They know what the fuck I want. They just know me.
You want pizza, you little pig?
You want some fucking? Oh, by the way, don't get Papa John's around here, TJ.
Howdy, guys. Sorry about that. They might have to do a little chop suey on this because
Well, I got one
recordings-
going, so.
All right. We'll just have to upload your recording
Wait,
for this one.
am I? I think.
Because my sound card
You're
took a
recording.
shit. I mean,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. If you're as long as you're recording, we're gravy.
Yeah.
Did you? I don't know if you guys talked about it. I had to go up and take a leak, and then when I came back, my soundboard had fucking.
We
frozen
just thought the
up.
guys, the fucking government
yeah,
got
we
you.
thought the government got you.
Did you talk about fucking Kamala's little slip up?
No.
The Water Wars thing? No.
Yeah.
What happened there? I did
Well,
not
she
hear
said,
about that.
well, she was doing
Well, it was actually a two-pronged fucking thing that was stunning in two different ways.
yeah.
Okay.
Number one, she admitted that wars have been fought over oil, which is
Yeah.
something that the United States government has openly denied. It's
Well,
been
listen,
called conspiracy
hold on, I should probably
theory.
just show you this fucking clip.
Yeah, just find the footage and let Scotty hear it because it's fucking actually super stunning. The vice president says this.
Joe Biden is
By the way.
very serious about being probably the most pro-labor.
Hold on, I gotta find just like the exact moment she just says it.
I'll tell you what. Well, let's listen to this before we fucking say. Oh, before I say.
Hold on, this majority report thing will show the clip, I'm sure.
You got to share it with me.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the moment. All right, I think I found it. Here we go.
And here's the other thing, because I also, I'm in a lot of meetings on foreign policy. For years and generations, wars have been fought over oil. In a short matter of time, they will be fought over water. So when we think of
So,
I don't disagree.
well, no,
She's not wrong.
She's not wrong
but
about
it's
it.
like,
Well, the first stunning admission, I guess, is that wars are fought over. I mean, like, we all know wars have been fought over oil, but like,
yeah.
the official position of the U.S. government has always been that that's not what's going on.
Look,
but
isn't the reality though that whatever you feel about these administrations, whatever euphemisms they use, there's one thing. If you want to look at the real dark mirror, is that like the admissions the government makes now is like, yeah, we do some really fucked up shit. But, I mean, what else are we gonna do?
I mean, she's pretty much telling you right there, like, we have fought wars over oil. We will soon be fighting wars over water. Just letting you know. You know what I mean? Like,
Of course. Dude, you talking about food shortages? I mean, that's bad. Don't get me wrong. But water, you don't have water for a couple of days, you're fucking dead.
dead.
You're dead, my friend.
Dead.
You ain't alive anymore.
At least we don't live in the country with the largest freshwater lake in the world. The largest freshwater series of lakes and body of water in the world.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm coming for you, Canada. Canada's got a lot of fresh water, Paul. Feeling awfully parched. You guys laughed at my Canadian
I'm starting
invasion.
to get very thirsty myself. Yes,
Look, there's a lot of states in this country, Paul, dry as to the bone, while Canadians sit fat with their fat water supplies. And you guys laughed at me for years. Oh, we don't need to invade Canada. Look, just make it painless. We go to Canada. We fly there, wherever their prime minister, wherever the joke is, Trudeau, the blackface guy down. We'll put him in blackface too, just to humiliate him even more. And we'll sign a treaty or a pact that basically just it lets them save a little face, like the U.S. is annexing Canada. We welcome this new measure.
So you're gonna make Trudeau dress in blackface and sign your.
We'll just tell him, look, we're right at your doorstep. If you don't join with us, China's just going to conquer you anyways. You might as well just side with us now, save some little face. You can actually still be a country.
Yeah.
Canada's a country still. Don't worry. You're still a sovereign nation.
I saw a
wow. It's very generous letting them keep their dignity like that.
Of course.
I saw a super cut, or not a super cut, but like just a fan cut of that Kamala thing where they just cut out her audio, just left it as is, and they just put Immortan Joe telling the people to like,
Let's see if I can find
do not come to depend upon water, my children, for it will make you soft and you shall resent its absence.
I love it, dude. We gotta find this, dude. That's great.
I don't remember where I saw it.
When Immortan Joe seems more reasonable than the current politics of the time. At least you know where you stand in his society.
Right.
Like, open the spigot.
I can't find it. Oh well.
Too bad.
Yeah, I can't
does-
remember where I saw it
that
either.
does
Probably on
sound fun.
Twitter or something. Or Reddit.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, whatever. Sounds funny as fuck.
Yeah. It's gonna be real funny in like 20 years, 30 years.
Oh, well, guys, is Dune still coming out on time?
Yeah. Dune. Yeah. Pretty soon this planet will be fucking Arrakis.
Reddit
So
and circuses.
yet another fucking people fighting over water and the spice, but
I wish
pretty
they had the
rare.
spice, dude. Wish there was some fucking bullshit. Dude, I wish there was some clear-cut motivation like that.
I've got
like,
the spice right here.
Like, if they had this, like, if there was some spice and some sandworms, at least I live in the interesting version of reality. Like, this one, we have the boring dystopia.
Sandworm is in fucking Dick Cheney's pants, dude.
Ain't kidding.
Remember that?
Dude, some guys get all the fucking luck, right?
Look at that fucking thing. You could drill for oil with that motherfucker.
Dude, send his ass to Arrakis, man. Just his little head pops up. It's like, is that a sandworm?
Do you remember when I was reading Dune and it was like Arrakis? I was like, kind of like Iraq. It's like, we're all fucking fighting over this spice. It's like, kind of like oil. But this book was written before that happened, so I don't know. Written before either of the Iraq wars.
Frank Herbert just had
Frank Herbert just knew. He knew what was going on. He's blowing my mind.
It is
from
an
the past.
interesting. The thing I love about Dune, especially the first edition of Dune. Have you guys ever seen the first edition of Dune?
Yeah.
It's strange because it was actually printed by a company that mainly printed like automobile like manuals.
Weird.
So it's not really like what you would expect a first edition to be. Like if you look at like even like the Harry Potter first editions, I'm always kind of interested in that. Like the British first edition actually looks pretty nice. It was like very limited number, but has like a nice feel. But that like the Dune one almost just feels like it was like, let me just publish this shit.
Paul had a birthday recently, and I was kind of like seeing like maybe I get Paul like a rarer edition of the fucking Dune book or something. Like I could get one from like the 70s or something. Those turned out to be way too expensive. But in the process of that, I did see the first edition of Dune.
Like in
and I
decent
saw
condition, about $300.
I saw some pretty good fucking Oh no, there's fucking copies of that shit that are fucking going for fucking
well, you're-
insane amounts.
you're
of
talking
Are you
about
talking like
condition.
paperbacks?
Talk
yeah.
about condition. Well, I believe I don't think Dune was printed as a hardcover originally. I think the first edition is a paperback.
Yeah, I think you're
Dude,
right.
I've got to go look at my books real quick.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you go do that. But why don't you pull it up for people and show it to you? Because
Yeah, I
Paul
can do
does
that.
that. Yeah, like, but it's actually, well, the ones you were seeing that are probably going for thousands are probably in like perfect condition,
So
or they're signed or something too.
collecting Frank Herbert.
Well, this is how you identify it too.
So look at this.
Okay, so there's a hardcover version. Okay,
Hold
well,
on.
fuck. That's probably why someone's asking that. But remember, that's not what someone's asking.
Well, no, this is from. Okay, yeah. I don't know. I've seen these actually sell though. Like I've seen these sold at these prices.
Okay, well, if they've sold for those prices, then that's fair.
So this is all from like Quintessential Rare Books LLC or something.
So look at first edition.
So this is a hardcover and it says it's a first edition. So
Yeah, can we see that listing?
yeah.
Oh, wow. So is this the actual first printing of the book?
I don't know. First issue binding in blue cloth. The first issue dust jacket with 4 lines of publisher information on the back panel of the dust jacket is rich in color with some rubbing to the top front panel. The original dust jacket has the publisher's $5.95 printed price present with light wear to the spine. The book is in great shape. The binding is tight with minor wear to the boards. The pages are clean with no writing, marks, or book plates in the book. A lovely copy of this true first edition with the words first edition printed on the copyright page. First edition hardcover, fine/near fine grading.
Okay, so you're looking at an excellent example of this book is what they're trying to sell you. That's why they're asking $7,500. Like I found the copies of this going for much cheaper, but they were not.
So I don't know if this is just the first edition of a hardcover edition, or if this is like.
Yeah, I believe the first run was not a hardcover.
So I'm not sure.
But
let's see. Who does this say it was published by? Publishers Chilton Books, a division of Chilton Company, Philadelphia, New York. Date published 1965.
I want to say go back. Yeah, we can go and look at the Wikipedia, and that'll tell us who published the original. Because that might be the first hardcover printing.
Former publishing company, most famous for its trade magazines, automotive manuals. So yeah, you were right about that.
Yeah.
But it appears that it was a hardcover.
Oh, was it?
Or at least a hardcover was released.
Look at the Dune Wikipedia and see if you can. Because I'd be interested to see when it was originally. I thought it was published in '63, but I could be wrong. If I'm wrong,
It says 1965.
Okay,
here.
so that would be the first edition. So that does check.
And you
out.
actually see the
So
first
go-
edition cover. It matches that, so we can see that is
It
the
is.
cover.
So that is it.
So yeah, it was originally
Go
a hardback.
Is there any information on the publishing about it here?
Probably.
Just
There's all. I mean, this is obviously a
just
huge article.
Control F and hit like published or publishing.
Yeah. Hold on. Or well, maybe origins. No.
No, that's
Plot, characters, themes, and okay. Yeah. Let's just see. Publication. Oh. No. Oh, I can't spell for shit. I could put an I in it.
Okay, so here's a little
All
section.
right, so here's the thing about blah, 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 blah. The serial was accompanied by several illustrations that were not published again. After an interval of a year, he published a much slower paced 5-part The Prophet of Dune. Who cares? We don't care about that. The first so the first serial became Book 1 Dune. And
So the
final
magazines
published
would actually be
Dune.
the first version of the
okay.
story you could get.
So yeah, so he published them in. He published a 3-part serial, Dune World, in the monthly analog from December.
That's right. Because that's what I was thinking of. So he published.
Okay, so you're thinking about. Okay, so when you were talking about stuff, these are literally anthology magazines, and he's like doing an ongoing series in.
Yeah. So
a
Dune was
magazine.
originally basically as a part of an anthology.
and then he
serialized. I think he probably just combined
he
everything.
combined it into one novel in Book 1 Dune, in the final published Dune novel. The second serial was divided into Books 2, Maudib, and Book 3, The Prophet. The serialized version was expanded, reworked, and submitted to more than 20 publishers, each of whom rejected the novel.
Wow.
Dune was finally accepted and published in August 1965 by Chilton Books, a printing house better known for publishing auto repair manuals.
So that really is truly, if you're looking at Dune, the form we're talking about, that is the first edition.
so fucking weird. So wait, what went on to, like, This just shows that genius is not fucking appreciating its goddamn time, Scotty.
No.
What I'm saying is I'm a fucking genius. I'm not appreciating my time. Appreciate me, Scotty. Appreciate me.
Well, if we go back and like I said, like you're long dead and I'm alive, I'm like 100 or whatever on the fucking rotting corpse of this world.
Yeah.
I'm on your Wikipedia. I'd be like, TJ wasn't appreciated enough. TJ was great. And it'd be like, irrelevant, strucken from the record. Damn it.
Strucken.
Strucken.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, this is that edition.
Well, what's the lowest price we can pick up?
Well, wait, but this is not even mint condition. This is fine or near fine condition. I don't know what the motherfucking shit would. Okay, so this is the first edition listed for $15,000 fucking dollars.
So this must be in fine. Okay, they're saying this is in fine condition.
Okay.
Oh, is it signed? Oh, it's
Yeah,
it's the first signed, first printing. Oh, wow.
Wait, hold on. Signed by Frank Herbert on a laid-in limitation page. A magnificent dust jacket that is vibrant with color. Blah blah blah. I don't know why they show so few pictures of this fucking shit, but yeah.
Yeah. See, this is something.
So a signed first edition in fine condition.
You would have to have
$15,000.
You would have to have total provenance to pay that amount, though. That is a.
So here's an $11,000 edition. This is fine, but it's unsigned. So without this signature, you lose like $4,000.
Yeah, they're valuing his signature at $4,000.
Right.
I mean,
well, his signature on this particular, like Frank Herbert, if he signs a cocktail napkin, that's not going to be worth $4,000. But yeah, it'll be worth some.
The first edition of the first printing of his book it's worth it. But see, you can get other editions. See, that's $3,000 there.
Here's a very good. Well, wait, fine is probably better than very good in grading. I don't know how. I'm not an expert in grading. Why do they have more pictures of this one than they do the others?
Okay, so go back. So look at the condition there. So his cover, the fine edition and near fine. See that spotting and all that stuff. Isn't that like mold or something?
Yeah, it's probably.
So you have some damage to the some wear on it. It does have the dust jacket, which that's really important with the value of books.
Yeah, sure.
The shit we all learned watching Pawn Stars.
I don't know what the fuck. So if it's about $3,000 in that condition.
Oh, that's at a low rating though. Look.
What's that?
Click back on that. It looks like they had a pretty see. Their seller rating is garbage, so I wouldn't buy that book from them.
Yeah, this is book bid rare books or whatever.
So you also got to find someone reputable to buy these
quintessential books rare books seems like their ratings were good,
and they have a number of copies of it. So, I mean, you could probably get the first edition.
So
cheaper.
Here is a 1984 edition you could buy for like $75. But to me, that's not a cool enough edition for that.
No, on Etsy, I've actually found.
Dude, I had this fucking edition.
Yeah, I know you did.
Motherfucker.
Now, if you look, I actually found one on Etsy. Someone was selling for the first issue. It wasn't a hardcover; that was a paperback. They wanted like $300 for Dune.
Yeah,
and it was in good condition. It wasn't in like terrific condition or anything.
Let's see what Paul's got there. What do you got, Paul?
I had to do some digging through my dad's old. I have a box of my dad's old stuff. Looks like a pretty old edition.
Which one is
this? Is Dune.
This
is Children of Dune.
Okay.
So it looks like you have an 80s edition or maybe
can
70s.
Can you tell me what year that's from, Paul? I'm trying to see the one that actually has the same cover. Okay. Is this the one?
Yeah.
It says February 1977. That's
so
the one.
It is the 70s. Can you hold it up?
So it's not worth all that much.
No, that's for like $15.
Yeah.
Yep. I thought I had an older copy of Dune, but if you show me the cover, what's the expensive one?
So here is the super expensive copy of Dune here.
And
that's got to be like a re-release or something.
No, this is
one of the originals.
This is the original first edition of Dune right here.
Man, it's so clean.
This
I see. Yeah.
This is if this one here signed by Frank Herbert in fine condition
Jesus Christ.
is $15,000.
That's fucking nuts.
So this is what Scotty was talking about there being a soft cover edition of the first edition, but actually it was that Dune was published as a serial in Analog magazine, which is a sci-fi magazine,
which those themselves probably would fetch
published throughout the fucking 60s.
Right.
You know, and then he later combined all the stories and revised them into Dune. And that was published by he got rejected by pretty much every publisher until I guess he convinced a publisher of auto manuals to print his novel. Don't know how exactly that worked, but good thing he did, because became a huge fucking bestseller and probably has thought of as one of the best science fiction novels of all time. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, but you could now it's worth a fucking shitload.
What's a first edition paperback?
First edition paperback of Dune.
I've seen the first edition of. I've seen those go for like 300, but they were in like okay. Well, just look for that, TJ. Put first edition Dune in paperback, because this is gonna mainly give you
Dune paperback first edition.
But I do believe it looks similar to the cover. No.
Hall of Dune. No. Maybe I just need to put Dune paperback.
Search.
Sand Warns of Dune, this of Dune, that of Dune. Okay,
we'll
so
go search on Google. You'll probably have an easier time finding it there.
Yeah, okay.
Just first edition paperback Dune. For sale.
Collecting Dune by Frank Herbert.
Same site.
This is the same shit. First edition books for sale.
Oh, come now, eBay.
Yeah. I don't see a first edition of the paperback. I see a first edition of the. I mean, it had to have been in paperback. There is a fucking point where it was in paperback for the first time.
Yeah, there's got to be a point.
I don't know where I need to find. I don't know what search term I need to find that, but
yeah, I don't know.
Dune, Frank Herbert, first paperback.
Oh my god, dude! Look at this.
What?
Mine still has a Kent ad.
Whoa!
Wow!
I didn't even know they did that. They put
only
Kent.
8 milligrams of tar.
Wow! Only 8, huh? Cool.
Yeah.
Collect.
Yeah, this is Let's see what's on the other end of that, because it looks like there's a couple. I don't know. It's just like a little order thing. Weird.
Oh, well. Oh, fucking well.
Oh, there is another one in here.
There's another ad.
Oh, this is kind of cool. The Science Fiction Book Club.
Cool.
What if?
I want to
Why
join
not?
a science fiction book club.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you can sign, and on the back of it, it's like you can put your information and blah 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 blah.
That's pretty cool, though.
Old school.
Very old school.
Yeah, I forgot that they did this. My dad has a lot of paperbacks from this era. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know if I've ever shown you my Dune. Can you look up the first edition paperback of The Shining?
Yeah.
Yeah, when they printed this book, it was mainly hardcover, because I'm looking at some different ones. The one that they're selling, that first edition, it's actually blue. I've seen other ones that it's like red for like the 8th printing or the 7th printing. So I actually will have to do more research, but I'm kind of interested to see when they actually first put Dune into fucking paperback. But I guess that's not really what collectors are looking for. They're looking for those hardcovers.
I'm having the same issue. There must be some kind of other phrase that's used other than first edition when they move a book to fucking paperback or something.
Yeah.
All right, here is...
Yeah, I don't know if The Shining would actually be super
A lot of these
rare.
books have fucking so many goddamn different covers over the years and shit, too.
Oh, yeah.
The Shining paperback... vintage, maybe? Put like vintage. Vintage The Shining. It's on like Etsy and shit. Say they don't really like have as much of a seller's market for the old paperbacks.
Yeah, look up first edition of The Shining.
It's funny. Like, yeah, I heard what you said, TJ. There's not like a big market for the first edition paperbacks.
Yeah, it's just
No,
like
it's not.
it just doesn't.
It's hard
seem,
to tell.
I think
But
that
my dad was a huge horror buff, and he was all into Stephen King, and I know he bought the shit as soon as it hit the look at this paperback I have.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah,
That's an old one for sure.
yeah. I looked
It's
at some of those.
It's foil. Like, I don't know if it's first edition. I don't know how to tell that.
Look, it has all the information. It'll tell you where it was printed. If you look at the it's the front of the book. It'll
The
tell you
very
where
front.
it usually is. Yeah.
Signet.
Yeah. So open up the first page.
So it says it's branded as a Signet release.
I've seen that copy of it.
So look
when I'm
up
looking
the
through
first
shit.
edition, TJ, of The Shining. That's what I would look for.
I think that might actually be the second cover. So there's
Oh no, go down. That's the
I
first
just
printing.
saw it. So 78.
No, it's at the bottom. It says that's the first printing of the paperback.
Okay. First printing of paperback is like $7.50.
This is copyright 1977.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's the page right there.
I see the page. That's no, that's
Here.
like
Yeah, Signet Classics. Yeah, so
that's giving credit to like all that shit.
No, my first page is this. Look,
Uh huh.
it's testimonials.
Yeah.
Weird.
It's got like the spellbinding, harrowing. Fuck it. It's like all like whatever the fuck. It's like 3 pages of that shit. Of like the testimonials of, and
Yeah,
then
they might have put it in the
starts with
back.
this.
So I see here's another one listed for $33.63. Oh, well, I'm not even sharing this.
But they had some double day companies that printed the hardcover edition. So this
But anyway,
So that's not the same one.
my
Actually,
dad for some reason bought 2 of them.
Oh.
So
yeah,
that's
this-
kinda cool.
This is the paperback one here, though.
I have this other one too that I think is pretty old. It's another Signet.
Night Shift.
Yeah.
I could tell that was in someone's back pocket or something.
Well, I mean, these are all going to be well read. My dad bought them to read. Here's another one that he had that might
Here's
be
that one, I think. First Signet printing, 1979. It's about like $16.
Yeah, in good condition. There.
Yeah.
This one's a little more well.
Well,
About
really
the
not.
same.
I mean, there's this spine's still pretty warm.
If it was in excellent condition, it looks like they'd probably go for like $50. The hardcovers seem to be
yeah, the hardcovers really seem to have more
If
value.
you had
though.
if your dad had been like, I'm buying the limited edition Shining thing that Stephen King's putting out for like $50, $100.
I don't know. There's like a
See, dude, TJ, for future reference, I'm not big on hardcover books. I love paperbacks, so
Yeah.
you could fucking totally, you
go
know,
get a fucking some vintage books
What
for
about
you.
this one, TJ? Can you look at and see if this is a first edition
Let's see.
paperback?
Pet Cemetery first edition paperback.
It's another Signet.
Yeah, it looks
That's
like
probably a
this.
good sign. Yeah, it looks like it.
There's one for like $26. Looks like it's in better condition though.
I mean, it's going to be in weight.
Well,
This
that
one
co-
is actually
what's
almost
the cover?
falling apart. Huh?
Is that the? That's the
on the
same
cover?
cover,
It's
right?
the
Okay.
same exact cover. Yeah.
Oh no, actually it's
No,
not.
that's a
No.
variation.
Yeah, that's a little different.
See,
You're right.
that's what I'm telling you, dude. It's really difficult to determine the first editions unless you look at the printing and know exactly how to
You're
identify.
right. Yeah. They use
Oh,
the
here's
same
what you
art.
got. So wait,
My dad picked up these.
Here's the
a
one I
lot in.
wait. Does this one say
lot
now
of these
major
are
motion
airport
picture on
books.
it? No, it doesn't.
No, so his is
Oh wait,
his is probably older than the other one. That one is
yeah,
the,
mine doesn't have the motion picture one on it,
Okay, so
but
here's.
it's got that same font.
I think
that
this
one
one
there,
might
yeah.
be. I think this one might be the one you got here.
And
That's
thi-
the one. Yeah, it's got the number
Well, this
one
should-
nationwide best.
and this
Yeah.
is never going to be considered the first edition because it seems like they always go hardcover. So there's probably a hardcover. Did Signet print these or who's printing these?
This
Signet.
is Signet still. I
So
think.
obviously King had a deal with Signet back in the day to do
So
that.
this one is $29.99, but this is like in very good condition. There's no
Yeah.
stuff on
I mean,
that at
wait,
all.
like look at mine. Look at. I'll be
that's-
very careful with it, but you can see on the spine
Yeah,
of mine.
it's like-
the cover
Yeah.
yours
is
in
almost
poor,
gone.
Yours is in poor condition. Yeah, but still,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, look at it. So yeah, it starts the same way. It's got the fucking testimonials at the very beginning. I want to be really careful with this because it's falling apart.
It says first signet print. So you can see at the bottom here. See if it says first signet. Find the page that looks like this and see if it says first signet printing on the bottom.
And apparently, there's a company called Doubleday and Company who does the hardcover editions.
Right.
That's
So
the front or the back of the book.
I think this is the front.
This is the front.
This looks like it's right after the title page because I can see the title page on the back of that.
You put me full screen, bro.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Hold on. Let me see if I can see that.
Back it up a little bit
Yes. Bring it back a little bit.
so we can get. That's a little blurry.
Yeah, that is first. It says first signet printing.
Okay, so this is the first paperback printing. Yeah.
So this is the same book we're looking at here, just in rougher shape.
Yeah.
But
Pretty cool, though.
yeah, this is a fucking unread one
What's
here.
the Shining? Look up Shining hardcover first edition, TJ. I want to see what those go for because it's such a famous movie. You have to figure.
Shining hard, like
Well, we don't know how many
first
they made.
edition?
The hardcover.
I mean, by that time, Stephen King was like pretty big.
Yeah, so I figured. I mean, it's probably not going
Like
to
the Frank Herbert Dune thing, like
Oh, that was a different time. Yeah.
he was like, and like no one was buying that back then, you know.
Yeah, the first printing of that was probably super small.
The Shining hardcover, first edition.
So
Let's see here, same site.
that's Signet though.
Okay, yeah,
They
that's
said
the
that it was Doubleday did the.
Shining signed limited edition. You can get a 1,600 for. Okay, here's a copy.
Yeah, about 1,000.
First edition, first printing. Yeah, you get about $1,000 for it, maybe.
I mean, they got other ones where it's like, oh, we want more. But
So here's this. Why is this one worth more?
what's in fine condition? Click on that one. That's supposed to be like a stellar example.
Do you have any mint? No mint.
Oh, mint is going to be super hard to find for anything.
Yeah.
I mean, mint is where you talk about some serious
Like,
money.
yeah, it's like fresh off the press still, kind of. Yeah, I think that's as high as
Yeah,
it
fine
goes.
is about by the top of the line.
Was it that one?
No, do you go down? That's what's in fine too, so that will work.
Well, this one's more expensive, so I don't know. We'll see with that.
Of course, you have the dust jacket.
Yeah, I mean, this thing's in like pretty much like.
Oh yeah, I mean like that. I mean, it's obviously aged somewhat, but I mean, look at the pages.
Yeah.
See, the problem with having a book like this, and it's really neat, but you would never want to fucking touch it.
Right, absolutely not.
It's like having a fucking, a fucking 7 Corvette Stingray. It's like, yeah, it's a beautiful fucking car you paid $70,000 for, but you never want to fucking drive the thing. Like,
yeah.
you don't want to get a scratch on it. You want to put it in
Well,
a
I
fucking
mean, a lot of
garage and
times
covered.
people get stuff like this so that they can hold on to it and sell it down the line when it's accrued even more value.
Dude, I want to buy a first edition of Dune. I really do.
The thinking is like, hey, other things might change, but this market's probably like Stephen King's probably going to stay popular for quite some time. So
No, I think something like Dune would be a good thing to buy, especially for an investment. If you want to sell it somewhere down the line, because Dune's only going to get more popular.
oh yeah,
That's something like if I don't know if I'd want to sell though. That'd be like something like my kids would sell or some shit. Because I don't know if I fucking want to part with that if I had that in my hands. Like, no, this is mine. This is going to fucking this is going to be like in a case. You know what I mean?
yeah, dude.
So I don't know if I would ever sell that, but when I'm dead or whatever, they fucking sell it to make a bunch of money.
You got all
I got a
kinds of
couple
Stephen
old
King.
weird ones.
What's that?
I don't know if this is a first edition.
I don't know.
I've got the dark half,
The dog.
and this one is actually in pretty decent condition in comparison to the others.
Yeah, it
it's
looks like
got
it.
some
So
obvious-
Paul, I think we know where you got your love of horror from, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, your dad.
I
is
read
loaded-
all these as a kid.
Your dad's loaded down on horror.
Yeah,
Did he get any Dean
It
Koontz?
does look like that is
Or was he
the
just into
first
Stephen King?
printed first edition here. It looks like it got about the same condition here, about $4, $4.50.
Well, that's not a desirable book, really. I mean,
the Dark Half's a pretty good book, dude.
yeah, but
I don't know why.
is it on the
there's
level of The
not, like, a
Shining?
collector's market for these old first edition paperbacks.
There might be
They're
for
cool.
some authors, but for Stephen King, they were in such heavy circulation that the numbers
Sure.
have probably not
it's
reduced all that
based
much.
on the rarity.
Right.
You
And
know,
those
like
books
if-
are probably not all that rare
if
because that was a hot book.
If fucking Frank Herbert's second book was Dune,
That brings back memories because my dad had that edition of Nightmares and Dreamscapes, which is pretty weird because he didn't really read that much.
oh, that's a hardcover.
Yeah, I've got a couple of old hardcovers.
So that one right there, and that's actually in really good condition from what I can see. You still have the dust jacket.
I mean, the dust jacket is pretty scuffed a little bit in the corners. You can see there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like in.
But I mean, overall, it's in pretty good
It
condition.
looks like it's in like good to near fine condition.
And it's been in the dust jacket the whole time. So underneath it, like the book.
That is clean.
Yeah, it's clean.
Yeah, that's worth about $30.
Yeah, it's a nice.
According to this,
Not bad.
Well,
And I've got this one too.
the regulators.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know if this is a first edition or a re-release.
I'm just gonna move from the assumption that they are, unless it's proven otherwise. That's a Richard Bachman one.
Yeah.
Which is just Stephen King's alter ego, in case anyone out there doesn't know.
This one's also super clean, as you can see.
Yeah. Yeah, it's only like worth $8 though. Only worth $8. Throw it in the garbage, Paul. Throw it in the trash. The book is
But
useless.
it's cool.
It is
I
cool.
like it.
That's a cool. You start reading that story, and just like a bunch of people show up and just start shooting people in a residential neighborhood, and it's like a preview of the present. Actually, it's like all right, cool,
Great.
not much.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, there's like all kinds of wacky shenanigans and shit that happen.
Shenanigans.
That's right, dude. It must be interesting to fucking be like one of these rare book dealers or something. I feel like that's a pretty interesting collector's market.
Well, you know what, dude? I've never been a collector, but once I settle, I don't want to buy a bunch of books now, but once I find a place that I feel like I'm settled down here,
Yeah.
I know it's cheaper than shit to get these first edition paperbacks in good condition. So
That's true. Get yourself a little collection.
Yeah. Because I like a hardback and shit and a nice, you know what I mean?
They're a little more, unwieldy to read.
Do you have any really pretty editions of anything?
Yeah, I got some pretty stuff.
Oh, dude, he's got.
Like, do you want to have a duel? I'll go get my prettiest book. You go get your prettiest book. Well, maybe we'll do it on the next.
Yeah, let's do it on the next Grease
Oh,
Chat.
Paul, I don't know. TJ's got some really nice fucking books.
I'll pull out all the stops, Scotty. I'll pull out all the stops.
Shit.
I've got some nice books.
You know what I actually have? I have a bunch of first edition. Well, not the UK, but
Yeah, I mean, my books
I
are
have a bunch of
not
first edition
super
Harry
nice.
Potters.
Scotty has some super nice shit.
I'm not necessarily talking about the rarest because I don't have none of that. I'm talking about like the most opulently printed book that you have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Of whatever edition.
You might
but
regret
just
that.
Most pristine, crisp.
It's too bad Scotty can't. Scotty has a lot of like books up on his shelf that look like really nice, like because he has, like I just buy a bunch of books and put them on a shelf, but Scotty has like the nice editions of shit because he doesn't own as many books, so he's like,
I'm pickier.
he's like way more like yes, the finest gold leaf inset, blah blah blah, fucking nonsense. But
Dude,
I
TJ's
can
got some
see
nice
if I
ones.
can beat TJ, and then if I can beat TJ,
all right. Well,
Then I'll
Grease
go
Trap,
ahead.
let's adjourn for a second. We'll fucking start a new Grease Trap and we'll do a fucking battle of the books, I guess.
All right, part 2 coming right up.
Deep fat fried. Deep fat fried.